What's up, bots? Welcome to another episode of Mr. Bepic Watches Collegiate Rocket League replays. And in this episode, we're watching GarrettG and 5 other players play Rocket League. But I know most of you will have clicked on this video because it says GarrettG in the title. I think he is on now the consensus #1 team in Collegiate Rocket League after a 2-0 performance alongside Percy and T. Carell as part of Winthrop's new look Rocket League lineup in CRL League play this past Sunday. Had a watch party of this league play week. Nice shot there, Zai. Had a watch party on Sunday, and Winthrop do look like the real deal, in all honesty. They went 2-0. They beat St. Clair. Spoiler alert for this one. We're watching the St. Clair versus Winthrop sets, as this was a bit of a revenge match for Winthrop. They lost to St. Clair in NACE, which is one of the 4 major collegiate conferences / leagues that Rocket League schools play in. And it was a 3-1 in favor of St. Clair. We reviewed that on my channel, if any of you watched that. Shout out to you guys for being here in the early days of these commentary videos, i.e. 2 weeks ago. As that was a good kind of indicator of what Winthrop could be, but they weren't there yet. They weren't at full strength. Although, I've learned since that series that apparently, and this requires knowledge of a bit of Collegiate Rocket League lore. I'll try to sum it up in a way that is inclusive to those of you that are just here because you like Garrett and not because you know what CRL really is all about. So those 4 major leagues, schools can play in multiple of them. Winthrop plays in NACE. St. Clair also plays in NACE, obviously. But they also play the NECC, which is another one of those leagues. I call them the Alphabet Soup Leagues because you got NACE, NECC, ECAC, and PCL. And so we'll keep it simple. We're just talking NACE here. But something that sets NACE apart from the rest of the leagues is that they have a rule that you have to be an in-person player for your school. Which, in the context of NACE, doesn't mean you have to go to campus in person to go to classes. Just means you have to play your NACE matches from your school. So, Garrett is an online student. I believe, this is unconfirmed, but he lives in Georgia and commutes 3 hours to Rock Hill, South Carolina to play the Winthrop NACE matches. So, I don't know what the situation is like. I don't know if he has a place to stay, so he drives up on Mondays, plays on Tuesdays, and goes home on Wednesdays, or how that works. But either way, if I had to drive 3 hours to then play a Rocket League series against some of the best CRL players in North America, then I probably wouldn't be at 100% either. So do keep that in mind. But Winthrop haven't had a ton of opportunities to showcase what they are made of. That St. Clair series we watched was one of them. And then in CRL's open qualifier to make it to this 8-team round robin section of the tournament that we are calling League Play, they did have to go through a somewhat difficult run in a big double elim bracket. I think it was like 30-something teams in their bracket that they had to get through. And so they won there, and that was a good indicator of them playing at their peak. Garrett also didn't have to go to Rock Hill for that qualifier. And now we have tape on them in an actual CRL match. So that's what we're checking out today. And this is game 2 of the best of 5 these two played. It was off stream, so not on the main CRL channel. So you would have missed it if you weren't watching the St. Clair stream on Sunday, or watching my watch party on Sunday, which is something we will be doing. I saved T. Carell. Dang. So go follow Mr. Bepic on Twitch. I'll be watch partying as many CRL League Play and Open 3v3 qualifiers as I can. Plug aside, Winthrop won their 2 series, and they won game 1 of this series. It was a 5-1 schmacking that they inflicted upon the Saints of St. Clair. So this was a get back game for St. Clair. Still trying to score a go-ahead, but having trouble getting through what has turned into a pretty stout back line of Winthrop's. Double commit there, though. Oh, and it does come back to bite him. 30 seconds left now. Let us go to fly cam for this 30-second drill out of Winthrop. Let's see how they play it. So kickoff goes in their favor. Garrett's fighting for possession here as T. Corral center. Arju stuffs the first opportunity. Percy lets loose a wet noodle of a shot right there. And St. Clair will be able to clear and potentially end the game now, especially with the T. Corral and GarrettG double commit. Now, like I said earlier, this team isn't all Garrett. I'll be using him as clickbait because he is the best name for clickbait in probably all of Collegiate Rocket League. And, well, that was a pretty non-starter of a 0-second play. If you don't want spoilers, I'm changing the replay, so look away. Here we go. You can also get a sneak preview, if you did keep your eyes open there, as to what other series I'll be posting about this week. But going into game 2, St. Clair tied the series. It is 1-1 right now in a very important best of 5 in CRL League play. And T. Corral is another one of those players that I am actually pretty interested in because I want to see what sort of role he plays in this lineup. So far, it feels like more defensive and midfield support than playing as first man, which makes sense because I think of these three guys, T. Corral, in terms of the pro scene context, has been kind of out of the game for the most amount of time. Because even though Garrett has retired from the RLCS, he still placed top 8 on his squishy AJ Garrett team this last season, which is wild. But that's retiring in the RLCS these days. You don't even want to get me started on that. Okay, 1-1. And I kind of want to watch T. Corral play, so let's watch him. Oh, I gotta switch to. I figured out this new way of spectating, but it's not quite panning out. Yeah, okay. Still on director cam. I don't want to have the timeline bar on the bottom, and so I've been trying to figure out a way to spectate what I want to spectate and kind of fly around and all that without showing the timeline for those of you that may want to be a little bit surprised by results here. But I'll sort it out on the fly. I'll sort it out in between videos. 90 seconds in, Winthrop score first. Pretty big for them. Nice recovery from dropping that last game in the final 30 seconds. And now they put the pressure on St. Clair to once again play from behind. For not very long. What was that? All right, I'm going to put the bar up for just a moment so I can switch between players. So if you don't like spoilers, close your eyes. And open them again. There you go. Watch a T. Corral's perspective. It's dusted right there. He and Garrett are both up. Double commits seem to be like the worst weakness of Winthrop's defense. But all right, we'll watch T. Corral. I think I realized that I am an idiot. Yeah, I think player view, was it an option there? It was director fly and auto cam. Weird. All right, well, again, I'll figure it out. But right now, we'll watch T. Corral. Maybe we'll switch between player perspectives here just a little bit. Because T has been involved in a lot of the Winthrop double commits in defense, which naturally against top teams like St. Clair is going to lead to you playing more defense. But Percy finds a nice demo in the midfield to alleviate some of that pressure. And it will put Winthrop on the front foot. It's a big opportunity. That will turn to more possession at least if St. Clair double committed. All right, good defense-ish. St. Clair survive. It's back to the front foot for them. I want to find possession numbers for this this series. So while I do that, all of you, hold on. Good out. Oh, nice touch, Garrett. Right to Percy. That's actually pretty gorgeous. It wasn't perfectly executed. Percy was just a half step ahead of the ball there, but I love the idea from Winthrop. All right, all of you enjoy your favorite player, GarrettG's perspective while I look up the stats for this series. I think I've still got it up. Yes, I do. All right, so overall, possession-wise, St. Clair spent more time in their offensive half, which I think we can all agree makes sense considering what we've watched so far. Now, if we were to break that down into games 2 and 3, which we are watching at the moment, then... Oh, wait, missed a goal. What just happened? Let me go back. What a touch. Oh, that's filthy. Zai, clean with it. Back to Garrett, though. We all want to watch Garrett. Do something crazy, Garrett. Entertain the masses. Because that Winthrop are down. And that's a nice setup by T. Carell. First he misses on the second man challenge, though. And St. Clair find a clear. All right, back to possession. So... Oh, I missed a goal again. Come on, guys. I'm trying to look at stats here. I'm trying to look at stats. What do we miss? What do we miss? Center ball, T. Carell forces Jazzy up. Oh, he connects with the bump. Okay, that's nice. Just makes contact with him. Oh. So I remember watching that live and thinking that Jazzy just missed on the read. I didn't catch that T actually connected with him. That's well done. All right, finally, maybe a second to look at possession numbers. Offensive half. Oh my God. Okay, game 2. 40% of the game was spent in offense for Winthrop. So St. Clair spent 60% of the game in their offensive half. And then this game was... Oh, I had that backwards. Sorry. The names in this lobby are not the actual team names. KDJ Olympus. I don't know what that means. So, sorry for the confusion. It was the other way around. 60% field domination game 2? That doesn't feel right. But, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Game 3, though, it was in favor of St. Clair. Bit closer. And I think I'm looking at this wrong. All right, I'm an idiot, but it's my channel, so I'm allowed to look like an idiot if I want. We're gonna disregard those stats numbers, all right? I think the lack of named replays in the group is causing some confusion on my part. Speaking of confusion. Huh. Yeah, that's that's really bad. That is an overtime winner right there. Oh, wow. Zai, that's not good. Because I mean, that's match point. Put off the post. And Garrett was backwards there. Had some momentum to try and make a stop, but that needs to be on target regardless. Woof. All right, all of you watching right now, the pros do it too. So open net misses are okay. even Zai misses sometimes. Ooh, double commit with Jazzy now too. Now Archer's got no boost. Still does well to get up to it. But there's no boost on the St. Clair back line right now. Zai's picking up pads. Just have enough to make a play. Okay, St. Clair, get out of that. That's good. That's good. That's good. They don't lose on the subsequent possession. And I think I was reading the possession numbers for this game when I said 60% field domination. I think this is where Winthrop had more time spent in offense. Oh, banger. Should have been watching GarrettG's perspective. How dare I switch off of our King's POV? Look at that. St. Clair just spread out in transition defense, and Garrett punishes with a beautiful strike off of a gorgeous pass. Well done to Winthrop. Okay. Here come the lawn care people in my apartment complex. They're making a surprise guest appearance. I should go ask them what they think of GarrettG and Winthrop being the best team in CRL. I'm sure they'd have an opinion. Okay, game 4 now. This is 2-1 in favor of St. Clair. In favor of Winthrop. My bad. I hope you can hear that, otherwise I just sound insane. Let's see where this goes, though. Hopefully none of you snuck a look at the timeline when I entered the replay. I didn't forewarn you. Oh dear, more awkward defense. It's Zai again that looks awkward here. I'll push the fly cam for this. Boom. How do I don't want to be oriented. There we go. Okay. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. Not how I normally spectate, but figuring it out. All right, T-Corral's to the goal line, forcing Jazzy up around him. Jazzy's still covering backboard, but RG is up for some reason. 50-50s, fairly neutral. T half jumps for that. Percy stays on it, passing back to Garrett. And why is Zai moving up with Arju here? They were just not on the same page at all. Now this is pretty clearly Arju's ball. It seems like Zai knows he's got more boost and wants to make a play on that, but knows better because Arju is in a better position to make a 50-50 on that. And the 50-50 is lost. Zai can't cover because he had moved forward and essentially either had to put that ball in himself or concede. So that will be Winthrop starting off on the front foot. Let's go back to Director Cam, shall we? We're St. Clair offense now. I think this is the game where they have more time spent in offense than Winthrop. I think I had that backwards. Which is why I always appreciate it when players name their replays which game it is. But players that upload their replays in the first place are already godsends, so I will not try to choose as the beggar in this situation. Nice double boost grab from Arju there. Double commit with Zai. It's still awkward from St. Clair. I don't know what's going on with them right now. They did go 1-1 on league play day. They played Oklahoma Christian. That was a win for St. Clair. I think it was 3-1, where they lost game 1 and then won 3 in a row. Oh, so close again. Zai's just expecting more of a neutral 50-50 here. The fact that Jazzy gets through Garrett even cleaner than maybe normal is what ends up costing them a goal. Not if they could have played it any better. That's a great save. Oh my word, T. Whew. Nice block. And he keeps momentum to go in and out to at least get the ball at the midfield line, grab that 100 at the midfield, and almost dunk a second in. That would have been demon mode out of T. Corral if he actually finds that goal. Still 1-0 though. Still very manageable for St. Clair. I don't really like that throwaway from T. Carell or the centering ball. But he's got backup. Percy's there. That's an opening that... Wow, Percy gets back 4. All right, hold on. I forgot I gotta change it to none. All right, what happens here? So Arju is falling down. Really has no reason to believe that this is gonna be open. So fair enough. You can't blame him for not getting there in time. And Percy rotated back very quickly to interrupt. And T. Carell's an outlet, kind of fakes it. Forces Zai to respect the fact that he could have banged that downfield. Still opportunities for St. Clair. Oh, so close again. The Saints have just missed too many opportunities to exploit openings on Winthrop's back line. Because there have been openings. There have also been some pretty severe missed shots. Now T. Carell's got some space. Beats Arju, chain dashes. Won't take a 50 with Jazzy. And so St. Clair still have a chance to keep possession now. They're doing well, at least, to maintain the midfield line. Demo upfield, so Jazzy has to play that off the backboard. He can't attack nets. Good 50. Double commit force. And okay, St. Clair are still in this thing. Minute 9. Chance to right all of the wrongs previously made in this series. Let's see how Winthrop stopped them. Or attempt to stop them. Keep the suspense going. I think we all know that our King GarrettG would never lose a game 4 like this, though. Great speed from Garrett. Oh. Oh, okay, Winthrop. Let's watch this one again. So Garrett's here. Good speed. You go straight to fly. Yeah. Good speed to win that challenge. Percy respects Jazzy there. Takes the better 50-50. Now T. Carell's got options. He's got Garrett that he could pass to. Maybe on the ground. Because Arju has kind of given that space up because he has to cover nets. Percy descending has forward momentum. So this is a play where T. Carell can kind of decide what he wants to do here. And he goes kind of in a spot that doesn't lead immediately to a goal with either of his options. For Garrett, it's not a pass I think he can get up to. At least in time to put a shot. It'd be a tough shot. Percy, though, tries something crazy. And this is where the players are just on a different level from me. Percy is wild for that. And it kind of freezes Zai after Arju committed initially to what maybe could have been a pass over to Garrett. So he's trying to get in the way of that. Realizes too far up for Garrett to reach, I'm assuming here. And so he and Zai are both on the goal line now. Zai had to respect Percy's shot because Arju probably wouldn't have been able to find a save if that was a redirect on target. And so that affords Garrett a shot in the face of 2 defenders. He glances it off the post and it falls in. 30 seconds left now. St. Clair have to score right here, right now. Otherwise, this is a lost series. So Arju out of the corner, double center. I like the thought. It's actually an opening here. Pass across. Saints are doing well to at least afford themselves chances at decent possession. Those demos from Zai are pretty big. Oh, but Garrett there with so much speed. He's so quick. He's so good. GarrettG is undefeated in Collegiate Rocket League and on probably the consensus #1 overall team in CRL. Who would have thought? That's my clickbait for this video. I hope you enjoyed my review of Winthrop versus St. Clair V2. Second time we watched this series on this channel. So like, subscribe, support Collegiate Rocket League, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.